Welcome to the Be Ruthless Show, where we have the conversations that other people don't, the conversations that other people won't. I'm your host, Sam Ruth, and I'm ready to make a lot of noise and disrupt things, ruthlessly. Thanks for being here today. Now let's get to it. Welcome back to the Be Ruthless Show. I'm your host, Sam Ruth, and joining me today is Cherie A Marquez, the dog mystic, who is grateful to be living her dream because she owns her own dog training company. She was a teacher for elementary education, and she resigned to pursue her dog training career. Through the trials and tribulations of working for herself, she has prevailed, and she has not had to work for anyone else since 2007. She's a published author of Happy Dogs Equal Happy Homes, problem-solving techniques without using treats. Her mission is to keep dogs in their forever homes by teaching people how to train their dog without treats and get and keep themselves healthy by drinking clean water. The dog mystic instructs dogs of all ages, sizes, and breed with no breed discrimination. She works on problem-solving commands and exercises to strengthen your bond with your dog or dogs on the soul level so they will always be family. She was published in Mountain Dog Magazine and featured on BVTV with host Malcolm Gallagher, Sarah Cordner's Course Creator podcast, How You Turned Your Dog Training School into Online Courses in 30 Days. This is amazing. Everyone needs this. Everyone needs this.
Thank you so much.
I don't know where to start. I'm going to let you tell us more about you and how you have done this without treats, first of all.
So the main thing with the treats is if you're giving your dog a treat for every single thing that they do, then they're going to expect it. And then if you don't have a treat, then they're going to look at you like, I'm not going to do that. So you don't have a treat, I'm not going to do it. So it's all about your tone inflections and being firm with your commands. But once they do it, then you're giving them the positive reinforcement and the petting and yay, and just the happy tone of making them aware that they did the right thing. So it's extremely, extremely important. With the only time that I do use a treat is for come from a distance, just so they see the come command as the most important command possible. So,
I mean, everyone I know, we laugh that they know that sound. Like they hear the crinkle of a bag, and no matter where, yeah, right? And I've just not heard of it before. You talk about how dogs know the energy of people.
Yes, absolutely. It's they have a sixth sense. They have a sixth sense. They know exactly what's going on. When you're walking down the street, if a person has negative energy or like a chemical imbalance, from 20 to 30 feet away, they're automatically on guard, and they know that something is not right, but it's all about their body language. You have to read their body language when you're taking them for a walk, which is why it's so important to, when you're walking your dog, enjoy the present moment. Be in the moment. Get off your phone. And if you're able to, put your phone on silence, do not disturb, and enjoy being outside and enjoy observing how much your dog loves being on that walk and observing all the beauty that there is around you. But they know, then you can watch their body language and see exactly what they're observing. And how they're reacting to either a person or a dog.
I'm going back to when I was in grad school. I had a friend who was dating somebody, and she was on the fence. She just didn't know how she felt about this person. They came to my house. I had Harley at the time. My dog would not let him in. Like, she growled in a way that I had not heard her make this noise. Like, she was not having it. And I was like, she does not like him. There's your decision. Like, dogs.
You're on the fence for a reason. Go with your intuition. Yes, absolutely. It's so, and that's the beautiful thing too, because when a person comes to the door, as soon as, sometimes it's either as soon as you open the door, or if you have a lot of space underneath the door frame, they can smell. Their sense of smell is like 50,000 times stronger than ours. So they can smell exactly what is going on. And like you said, that your dog would not allow this guy to walk into the house because she knew. You know, like, no, I'm sorry, I don't like your energy, and there's something going on.
And this was my first dog. I mean, I was 20 something years old. I didn't know much. I was being playful at that point in time, but she knew. Right now, I truly believe that. And if my dogs acted that way, I would say, you know, okay, I'm not letting this person in my universe. They know something I am not picking up on. They really somehow do.
Definitely. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And just they're knowing. And you know, that like with what you do, I mean, they know that when a person is feeling sad, or, you know, is not feeling well, then they know automatically that they just come over, and just their presence alone, they're angels placed on this earth to bring us into the present moment, to give us as much love as possible. And it's so important.
I was just going to say, we have dogs that are trained for the blind, you know, all sorts of things. My dad has had a service dog, but she passed away, and they have a newer puppy. I have to think how old she is. I mean, 3. So she doesn't know his health issues. She hasn't been trained medically with him, but she already knows. So she was acting funny one day, and he didn't understand why. And then within a short amount of time, an hour or two, he had an autoimmune issue. And I said, now you have to pay attention to her, because now if that happens again, you can't drive. Like, she was clearly telling you, don't leave the house.
Wow. She was doing her job even without being trained. That's why. That's why they're just they just have that extra knowing. The extra knowing of, like, right, I know that I need to do my job. Is she wearing the vest already? Or, like, you know, is she wearing the service vest, or was it just in home?
No, that was just at their house. They don't do enough post-COVID at this point in time that there's any real need. But she knew. And now I would trust any odd behavior. You know, we don't want them driving that much anyway.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So you know, people call me neurotic. That's fine. But I can tell when something's not right. I've gotten my dogs to the vet early enough that they've said, how did you catch this? Like, I can tell when they're not okay. So why would it be weird that they wouldn't know when I'm not okay?
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yes. And I mean, like, you know, that's where it's so important to be in tune with your dogs or your animals in general. Being in tune and being observant of what's going on, how they're acting. You know, I just don't agree with people just keeping their dogs outside. I mean, dogs are pack animals, and they should be inside with the family, part of the family, no matter what, because they see we're the ones who domesticated them. So let's just have them a part of our family no matter what, and allow them to protect the whole entire house, inside and outside, not just outside.
How can people start to understand? What can people do to get more in touch or in tune? I wish I could speak their language. I try to. I just do as much as I can. But there are people who probably want to do more. How do you help the bond?
Best thing to do is, if you have about 5 minutes every day, just sit on the floor and just start petting them. Just start breathing deeply. And like I said before, get off your phone. Like it's those 5 minutes that you're in the moment. You're in the moment and you're just enjoying your time with your dog. You're like, then if your dog is nice and relaxed, you can like just follow their breathing. And petting a dog relaxes your body. It lowers your blood pressure. It lowers the dog's blood pressure, and you're increasing that bond. You're increasing that bond, and you're allowing yourself to get out of your monkey mind, to get out of the past of, oh my gosh, to get out of the stress of what's going on or thinking about the future. It's just be in the moment, be in that here and now, and enjoy your animals.
Tell us about your book. It's amazing.
Thank you. So it is Happy Dogs Equal Happy Homes. It's a problem-solving techniques book, and any person can read it from the front to the back, or if you're having a certain issue, a certain problem, then you go to the table of contents and go to that problem, go to the page, you read through the problem-solving technique, and then it also, most of them have a QR code that they can, that sends them to a video as well. So they could watch a video, they could read the information, and it's also about like dog behavior and the power of forgiveness. Because pit bulls have such a bad rep, but if the Michael Vick pit bulls can use that power of forgiveness to become adopted, then it's so important. And if dogs are able to forgive, then we need to forgive just as much. So the power of just being in the present moment, power of forgiveness, and my mission is just to keep dogs in their forever home. There's too many people that are just abandoning their dogs. Like, why? It's not fair. It's not fair. There's no reason for it.
We were talking about your pit bull, Chaos, who sounds a little bit like Sassy. I rescued Sassy, and they told me when I got her, this litter was, whatever they went through, it was a lot. They are a handful. We've had people bring them back. Like, are you willing to take a potentially difficult puppy? She was. Like, she required more patience and training than Dallas. Dallas just wants to please the world. So have you ever found that a video or a dog needs a different video or a longer amount of time? Like Sassy, certain things didn't work with her or needed something from me in a different way.
Well, that's where the training is so important, because just 10 to 15 minutes of training they're using so much mental stimulation that it gets them more tired than just playing with a ball. I mean, like, my dog is a Labradoodle right now, and he's obsessed with the ball. But if you mix it up, so okay, you have playtime, but then you have training time. So it gets them more tired, and training is so important because you have, like, the book goes through the problem solving techniques, but then I have courses, like I have an advanced dog training course that goes through all the commands, all the extensive commands, and exactly, so it goes through housebreaking, problem solving, and all commands. And that's where, when you do have a difficult dog, then the training, not allowing them to get away with whatever command that you're giving them, they have to follow through. They have to follow through on that. Sorry, you have to follow through on that command, because if you don't follow through, especially with all dogs, but I mean especially with terriers, all the terriers are a little bit more stubborn than other breeds. So they think they can get away with it, So if you give up one time on not making your dog do a certain command, then automatically they're going to be patient, wait a little bit longer, and then say, cool, you'll give up, and then I don't have to do it. Never give up. Never, 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 never. Never give up. That's so important.
And having two, there might be people out there who just don't know animals. I didn't have two until almost 5.5 years ago. They have little personalities. They are their own little individual people. And Sassy now, I don't take them off leash unless they're somewhere that it's allowed, but she really is completely trained. It took a lot. It was a lot more training, more hours, more work on my part than it was with Dallas. But we got there. She's good. But she enjoys testing that boundary.
Oh yeah.
Dallas
Absolutely.
has no interest in testing but it's fun for her. She loves it. That little, wherever you put the line, she's gonna go right up to it. That's her personality.
Like, yeah, I'm here. We're gonna go fast.
But now that she's trained, I love it. Like I love that side of her. While training an energetic dog, it's a handful, no matter what breed. But if you're consistent and you do it, you get there. I think that's that's true in parenting. That's true in teaching. No matter what we're dealing with.
Yes. No matter what the breed, it doesn't matter. There are certain characteristics of the breed that are the same, but every single dog has their own personality. So you can't compare the two. And that happens so much when they have, like, a person has a dog for, let's say, 13 years, 15 years. The dog is absolutely perfect, and then they get a new puppy, or they get, like, a younger dog that's, over the puppy stage, and they're having so many problems, but they keep on comparing. Like, stop comparing. You can't compare your old dog that was perfect, that knew your habits and knew everything about you, to this new dog. There's no comparison. So every dog is different.
And they also, I tell this, they heal each other. I have Dallas because Sassy was also grieving. So their emotions and, seeing her grieve was a level to my grief. So that I call Dallas her service dog. They're inseparable, and seeing that side of animals and seeing how they need each other.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful connection. And my life would not be the same without animals. Totally.
What should pet parents know that we don't?
When you're working with your dog, especially if they're young dogs before 14 months, because they're puppies until 14 months. So before 14 months, then you want to work with them for 10 minutes, because their attention span is like a 1-year-old. So once they lose that attention, then it's gone. So you don't want to work with them for 20 minutes, because then they're not going to see the training as something fun. If you're working with an older than, like 15 months and older, then 15 minutes at a time. So, because once they get tired, once they get bored, then they're going to see the training as a chore instead of something fun. And it's extremely important just to make it fun. Make it fun. If you're working with them for 15 minutes and you see after 12 minutes that they're gone, they're just like looking at everything and totally distracted, then stop, play with them, and always just end your training session in play, just so they see it as like, yeah, cool. All right, I'm going to work and then I get to play. I mean, even the work dogs, police dogs, or sniffing dogs, when they have that jacket on, it's work time. As soon as they're done, and it's playtime, and they get that ball out, and they're like, yeah, you did your job, and let's go. So, very important. So, work, then play.
That's huge, because I think you're told 30 minutes of training a day. It's obviously not 30 straight minutes. That's an important one.
Right. Split it up into either three 10 minutes or 2 15 minutes, either or. So, like a dog's mind is just like a child. So they know what they can get away with, and they want to please, but they're going to get bored if you're working them too much.
Dogs and mental health. Mm-hmm. I have people who I have to wait until, I can't get a dog until, and we know the benefit of animals for them. So if there are certain, obviously you need to have a place to have the animal, but other than that, what do people need to be ready to get, you're never ready to be a parent. They say I'm not one, I'm a fur parent, but I think there are a lot of fears that people put obstacles in the way that might not be there. So something as simple as the house isn't clean enough, they'll eat everything. Well, they're going to eat everything, even if it's spotless, Right. What do people need to be ready?
So it sounds weird, but the leash is your tool. You're in control when that leash is on. So whether you rescue a dog that's a little bit older, or you have a puppy that's, going through the housebreaking stages, whatever it is, then keep the leash on inside the house. So the dog is not sneaking off to have an accident, or to chew on something, or to just be mischievous and, get in garbage and stuff like that. So, one thing that you can do is put the loop of the leash underneath a couch leg, and then that loop, like, just loop it through so it attaches, and it's tight on the leg, and keep the dog there. If you're on the computer and you're focused, you're hyper focused on what you're doing, then don't see the confinement as something bad. But your confinement can be a crate, it can be a playpen, it can be a bathroom. So, just don't see it as a negative, because the crate is for the dog's safety, for their health, but also to make sure that your house doesn't get destroyed. If you're not focused on your dog, then the dog is going to take advantage and just be all around. So watch or confine. When you can watch the dog is on a leash. Excuse me. When you can't watch the dog, then you confine. And if the dog is a big chewer and chewing through leashes, then you can get a chain link, like a 4-foot chain link leash. They do have 6-foot chain link leashes, but they're really heavy. So a 4-foot chain link leash is much better. So watch, confine. Extremely, extremely important, for sure.
Can I give them a BONE? I can't say it right now. While I'm doing that work, so I don't feel so badly confining them?
Sure. As long as if you're on the computer and you know that like it's their nap time, then you nap relaxing time, then one thing that you can do is give them a bone, but put them someplace where you can see them in the corner of your eye, because they can get bored with the bone and then start chewing on the furniture because they're attached to the furniture. So it all depends. It all depends on how focused you are on the work that you're doing. If you're totally focused and hyper focused and really, you really don't have the attention to see what's going on, then confine. So.
Oh, and I meant in the confinement.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yes. Yes. In the confinement, whether it's cage or the playpen or the bathroom or laundry room or wherever, just give them any kind of chew toys. So no raw hides, because raw hides are not good. They don't fall apart. So as they're chewing on it, it gets soft and soggy, and that sogginess can they can swallow it and they can choke from it. So Kong toys are fabulous. It has a small big hole on the bottom, a small hole on the top, and you put peanut butter on the far top of the toy. You don't fill the whole entire thing with peanut butter, but put it on the far top of the toy so they can smell it, but they have to work to get it out. If the dogs are past 6-7 months old, then you can give them like a deer antler or an empty marrow-bone. The reason why is those little baby teeth can get chipped if they're gnawing on something that's extremely hard, like the deer antler. But for puppies, the nylabones that have those little like little teeth on it, so they can put it in the back and get their teething sensations out. The like I said, the Kong toys are great. So anything just to pacify them while they're in the crate. So
I put music on for mine if I'm not here. They're usually with me. I'm in Colorado, so most places are pretty dog friendly, but I think they're happier with something to listen to or watch.
Yes, definitely.
My thought process, but they have animal channels now.
Right. I know, it's so great. It's perfect. It's perfect for we like that we have so many stimulations, so many things that are just distracting us. So putting on music or putting on TV for them to sit there and watch and observe while they're when they're not sleeping. Most of the time when you're out anyway, they sleep most of the time. But when they're up, then they get to chew on something, or they get to watch or listen to something. So perfect.
Any other things I'm forgetting?
Let's see. Well, like I said, just don't give up. I don't care how stubborn they're being. The longest time that I have worked with a very stubborn Basenji, I knew this Basenji, knew the sit command. So the way that I do it is sit, stay, give distractions, come, and then once they come to you, always have them sit. So I knew that she knew this. Okay. So it took me 45 minutes to get her to sit. But I was just like, no, I'm not giving up. So do not give up. Do not give up. And I don't care how stubborn they're being. You just got to be more patient than them. Because as long as you're more patient than them, then you're going to win. And then they won't test you even more. So it's very, very important.
I remember in Michigan when I called my trainer, it might have taken me that long to get dressed after a shower because I had the towel wrapped around my hair, which was a tempting thing for a puppy, right? Yeah, and so it was that I was just like, what? I can't get dressed. Like I cannot get dressed. She's like, you do it. You can do this. But it feels like it's going to take 4 years in those moments. They're this big, and I'm like, you are not going to win, you little sucker.
Exactly. But see that's where the confinement, that's where like the crate or any kind of type of confinement is extremely important. When you can't, if your dog is on a watch or confined, even if you're going to the bathroom, if you have the dog on a watch, if you're going to the bathroom for that 1 minute, put him in the crate. If you're going to take a shower, enjoy your shower without having to worry about like your ear. That should be your time to relax, be in the nice hot water, and not worrying about like the dog is out. Oh my gosh, what is she doing? No, no. Put them in the confinement so you have your own peace of mind.
Okay, so let's talk about this. For real, I worked 30-40 minutes from home, and I worked 10 to 12 hours, I worked 4 days a week so I could have 3 off. So I worked as long as I could to have those 3 days off at this point in time. So I was leaving to be gone for the entire day. So putting her in for that extra 7 minutes to get dressed, I felt bad. I was already leaving for the whole day, right? This is I'm sure other people are thinking that. Like, I want to be with you until I leave. And don't worry, people, she wasn't confined for 12 hours. I had somebody come play with her. What do you do in those situations when you're...
Well, think of a baby. Think of a baby. If you're going to take a shower, then you're not going to put a baby on the floor to be walking around, putting everything in their mouth. So it's the same thing. So you put a baby in the playpen, you put a dog in the crate or in their playpen.
Inventors, if you're watching, this is what I say. Like, they have bouncies and swings for babies. We need these for dogs as well, so that it's not just a crate. We need a fun, like swing. I'm not kidding. I say all this, like, at least we have multiple options. We need some more dog toys for the showering and getting dressed. People say dogs are easier than kids, and I'm like, no, you got the swing. and you have the little, so
the bouncy chairs.
I would like some more dog inventor toys if you are watching or listening. Not at all joking right now. You have us neurotic dog mamas, $1 million invention, tons of customers, 100% would get.
Right. No, because there are the puzzles But a lot of the, a lot of those puzzles where you put the little treats in and they have to move things over. There's just a lot of dogs that can get them like this, and it's like, all right, cool, yeah, I got it. So it needs to be like a little bit more stimulating to keep them active for, let's say, 15 minutes or 30 minutes instead of to 6 minutes.
No, we need we need one their body goes in for the sassies and the chaoses, the personality types that need to be confined but not a crate. So,
right. Yeah.
Not kidding. But that's where the guilty mom mindset was like, okay, but I'm leaving you. I don't want to. So I would make my getting dressed period 45 minutes when it could have been 4, and I could have just had those extra 40 minutes of playtime.
Right. Exactly.
Right? Craziness.
Exactly. So it's the and the important thing is to, in regards to a playpen for a dog. So yes, you have pee pads for the puppies and everything like that, but it's better to get a potty patch. So the potty patches are small, medium, and they have like a large or like extra large for like the bigger puppies. And it's a plastic grate that goes on top with holes on it, and then it clips the pee pad underneath. So they're not stepping on a nasty pee pad. And then, that is my whole thing with pee pads is when they pee and they walk away and then they come back and they're still stepping on the pee. So at least the pee pad is underneath, but it goes through the holes. So the pee goes through the holes and it's on that. So the playpens are big enough where it's like you can make it into like a big hexagon. You can make it into whatever shape that you want to. You can make it into a rectangle, a square, like however you want. One side has the potty patch, and then the other side has the toys and anything to keep them busy. But I mean, like, if your dog loves peanut butter, then that's perfect. So every single time that they go into their confinement, they know that they're going to get the Kong toy filled with the peanut butter. You don't want to fill the whole entire thing up because then that can give them diarrhea because it's too much peanut butter. But you just get the edge of a spoon or edge of a fork, scoop up the peanut butter, put it all the way on the top of the Kong toy, and then give it to them. So they know, just like when you ring the, like, when you're grabbing the treat bag, they know that they're going to get a treat. So this is more or less like, cool, I know I'm getting a treat with peanut butter, and then you put them in. So.
And most dogs end up loving their little thunderstorms, and they will go there voluntarily in other times. Mm-hmm. It becomes their little house.
Right. Because they're pack animals, just like the wolves. The wolves have their dens, and that, I guess, as long as you treat the crate as their safe place and you don't use it for punishment and you don't put them in there anytime that they're doing something wrong, then they're going to see their crate as their special place. That's their downtime. Like, especially when there's young kids in the house, then that dog is like, I'm going to my crate. Leave me alone. Leave me alone, and don't allow your children to go into the crate because that's their place. That's their place, and that's their downtime. So everybody needs time out, kids and dogs, so let them be.
So. Is the book on Amazon?
Yes.
So
it is
just
on
a reminder,
Amazon.
Everyone, you can see my dog is digging. You can go to the table of contents, look up digging, It's a common one, I'm sure, for people. And go read about it, and it will send you to a YouTube. So, you know.
If you go onto my website, which is the Dog Mystic, mystic.com, thedogmystic.com, the book is on the top, and then I have a free course as well. So a free problem solving course. And then I also have an intro to dog training course, and I have a advanced dog training course as well. So it's all on the website.
I have to ask, because I read this somewhere on your sheet. Before I ask final thoughts, your favorite quote?
Fear creates danger and courage dispels it. Because, you just got to feel the fear, do it anyway. And when you have this knowing that things need to change, but you're so complacent and you have that fear of the unknown, take that leap of faith, because you got to do what brings you joy. Do what brings you joy, and everything else will just flow.
And if you don't know what brings you joy, experimenting and making a game out of finding out what does can be very fun. Last thoughts, final words for everyone listening.
See, the universe has gifted us with the perfect angels, and dogs are angels placed on this earth to teach us how to be in the present moment, bring us joy, and love unconditionally. So allow them to do their job, and take that time to bond with your dog, get your phone out of your way, and be present. That's their focus. They are in the present moment, trying to bring us into the present moment. So allow them to do that. And enjoy, because they're just absolutely beautiful.
I love that so much. Mine are right here saying, listen to that, Mom. Let's go play. Dogmystic.com, right?
Yes.
Connect with Cherie. You will find her book there. Everyone needs it. Everyone with a dog. Greatest way to find a problem, look it up, and go solve it. Until next time, always be ruthless.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks so much for listening today. Your support means everything to me, truly. If this podcast resonates with you, please do me a favor and join in the Ruthless movement by making some noise and doing one of these 4 things. Subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Tell a friend so we can break stigmas even faster. Leave a review so people can see what you think of the show. And last, if you want to learn more about me and be a part of the Grief Hab community, please head on over to the Facebook group. We'd love to have you. Thanks again for spending your time with us, and see you next week.